All right, today is January 25th, 2026. It is 4:46 a.m. So there's a lot going on right now. So I have a lot of tweets regarding heavy statement regarding NATO that I want to go over because yesterday's video, it was the first time I came across the statement, and I was not online on Friday, the day he actually made the statement. I was aware of it the following day, and I was not getting too much information, too much discussion about it. So now I have a lot, okay? I have a lot of discussion to share with you regarding NATO. So there might be two parts to this video, depending on what I say in those video. And then I just find out that Harry and Meghan are, where are they? They went to a Sundance Film Festival. So I post pictures regarding that, but in this video, I will not be covering it. Maybe if I have energy after I record for the NATO statement that Harry put out, I'll create it for PYTE. It's not gonna be on this channel, APTS Sussex. And I just made another video public, which I just finished edit. Where is it? This one. Literally 1 minute ago. I just made this public. Wait a second. How could you have one comment, one thumbs up, but no views? This is views. Is the comments? Yeah. 2 people commented 36 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago. All right. So let's go on X, okay? I want to cover, not this one. This one I put on my list on the last video that I just finished edit. I had no clue why she made that video, but this is what happened when I don't listen to the videos first before I put it on the list. Okay, so this is the first tweet. Tap Prince. Okay, there's all those hashtags. People's Prince Harry, good King Harry. Okay, HU Prince, Liz Hurley. Oh, did she say that? Liz, is that one of the claimant on the lawsuit? Is that what she said? I'm assuming this is her. But anyway, that's that. Let's go to the next one. I will read the statement once in this video. If I make part 2, I probably will read it again if I come across another video, another tweet that has the statement. But I will read the statement only once per videos. But I will share whatever the tweet is showing. You could pause your screen and read it. Okay, new Prince Harry has responded to real Donald Trump. You see, I even blacked him. President of the United States. Comments about NATO troops in Afghanistan after the president claimed they stay a little back, a little off the front line. Harry served 2 tours in Afghanistan and has issued this statement, pointing down here. In 2001, NATO invoked Article 5 for the first time and only time in history. It meant that every allied nation was obliged to stand with the United States in Afghanistan in pursuit of our shared security. Allies answered that call. I served there. I made lifelong friends there. I lost friends there. The United Kingdom alone has 457 service personnel killed. Thousands of lives were changed forever. Mothers and fathers buried sons and daughters. Children were left without a parent. Family are left carry the loss. Those sacrifices deserve to be spoken about truthfully and with respect, as we all remain united and loyal to the defense of the diplomacy and peace. Couple things that came to mind as I'm reading this, and that's not the first time I read it. The Afghanistan war, okay, I think President Bush was in office, and then the 9/11 happened, and then they did that thing. He sent people to war. Several places. There's Afghanistan, there's Iraq and all of that, but Afghanistan as well. From what I remember, I could be wrong, I probably will search it to verify if what I'm thinking is true, is that during 9/11, when the building fell, one of the statements that was being circled around that was allegedly said by Donald Trump was that at least his building is the tallest in New York. Let me pause and go search that. So I was right. This is what I type in Google. During 9/11, did Donald Trump brag about his building being the tallest building in the city? The answer is yes. On September 11, 2001, just hours after the Twin Towers collapsed, Donald Trump called into a local news TV station, WWOR, and remarked that his building, 40 Wall Street, was now the tallest in downtown Manhattan. Okay, this is what this guy was thinking about while people were burning and under the rubble, whatnot. That's what was in his mind. The remark was made during an interview where Trump was asked about potential damage to his property. Fact checks later showed that 70 Pine Street was taller than 40 Wall Street at the time. The interview has drawn criticism over the years as some viewed the comment as self-promotional. Okay? I do not understand why it's like when news happen, okay, the seriousness of respective news that happen, and then another news happen, let's say each of the news that comes, they all are significant and they all have their respective importance in our society. But for some reason or another, some people don't take this kind of news into perspective and how it will affect their lives. I could understand people change. But during that time, this was the time where Americans have pretty much been under attack the very first time on our own soil. And the other thing that came to mind, okay, not only this is the first time we have been attacked, and the combination, the togetherness, the way American came together to help in Manhattan. People were coming from different part of the country, okay? Maybe some part of the world as well, but I'm focusing mostly on the United States due to our current state of our country. But at that time, different Americans from different part of the country came to volunteer to help. What happened since then? The other thing that came to mind is that when you look at during 9/11, some people say it was an inside job, but it was never verified. Even if they had verified, they will not admit to it. But the same group of people who keeps on creating war. You had Republican, who was the president? I just said his name, Bush. Okay, Bush was president. During his father's presidency, he created war. What was it in Iraq? Desert Storm or something like that, right? Desert Storm. I think that was the very first war that was somewhat televised or something. Yeah, I said who was president during Desert Storm? George W. Bush. Now, was it the first one that was televised? Let me pause again. I'm telling you, sometimes things come in my mind. I want to verify. I'm also correct as well. This is what I type on Google. Was Desert Storm a war? Was the first... Oh, wow, how did I write this question? I think I copied some of them. Was Desert Storm war? Was the first war to be televised? Let's make sure. Okay, the first one said yes. Okay. Operation Desert Storm 1991 is recognized as the first war to be broadcast live in real time around the world. You could pause and read. So the answer is yes, Desert Storm. But the point for bringing this, okay, it's the same group of people, the Republican, the same mindset, who keeps on creating war. Now, during Trump's first presidency, after all the work that other American and our allies have put, lives have lost, capturing, what do you call them? Our enemy, how do they call? Prisoner of war. What did Trump do? He let them go with all the work that was put, whether or not you believe you agree with war or whatever. I'm just explaining Trump's action, okay? Just Trump action during his first presidency. Okay? He got into office. He's letting go all of the hard work that other Americans have risked their lives for. As I'm saying this, I'm thinking of that football player. I did a video about him. Pat Tillman. Okay? Who left his $1 million deal playing football to join the military after 9/11. All of these people, hard Americans who risked their lives, who did all the hard work, and this guy who didn't even want to join, okay, when he was at the age to be at war, what was his excuse? Born spur or something like that. But the moment he got to be in at the Oval Office to be president, he let all the enemy go. Let me search that as well. Let me pause. Okay, so this is what I would. Did Trump release Taliban during his first presidency? Yes. As part of the Doha Agreement signed in February 2020, the Trump administration facilitated the release of approximately 5,000 Taliban fighters from Afghanistan government prisons. Okay, all the hard work. And now Afghanistan went back to the way they were treating women and all of that. I mean, there's so many examples. I know I sort of stray away from after I read the statement, but this is the point here. With people, even in the UK, so many things. I don't want to get too deep into UK politics, just in general. Okay, how people quickly forget and they don't maintain information and connect new information with the old information to make proper decision. Just in general, the United States is doing it as well. Americans, with the exception of African American, they know what's up. But the UK also does that. With all of those things, this information that people knew and saw Trump did during his first presidency, I could understand you might make a mistake during the first presidency, you voted for him. Okay? I will let it go because with Mark Cuban, for instance, this is a perfect example. During his first presidency, Mark Cuban voted for him because you could understand he's a business person. So some of the things Trump was saying align with his business type of thing. So I'm not going to punish him for that. However, during his second term, after he learned the way Trump does his thing, the kind of administration he became once he became presidency doesn't match with his business ideas, and he didn't vote for him the second time. Not only he did not vote for him the second time, he went around the country or go on television informing people based on business aspect as well. When it comes to tariff, he didn't go into the politic details of things. This is why I sort of respect him for that. He let people know what Trump is doing in terms of tariff is not good for business people and for the country as a whole. So he expressed he gave his business knowledge to the rest of the American people who may not know this type of things. But these people went and voted for him again. And now with Harry's statement as well, I think I'm done with the American side of things because we came from a country where there was some sort of to a certain extent, not fully though, where somewhat the country came together at a time of distress. But for now, people seem to enjoying the misery of other people, of other Americans. Now, when it comes to the UK as well, I was aware that not only did Bojo, former Prime Minister of the UK, had secret meetings with former, what do they call it? What's the term they use? Is an abbreviation. KGB officers by himself. And you have different people in high profile doing unethical things. You have the current monarch having bag full of cash. They never explain why he get that bag full of cash. You have all those things that's happening. People don't plug them together to make proper decision. And then the former prime minister again, Bojo, and another former prime minister, Liz something. Is it Liz Truss or something? And there's a current elected official. What's his name? Just look on the screen. I have this group of people who came to support the current administration that the United States has. And let's not forget as well, the United States have had experience of Trump first presidency. Now, him running for the second time, you have this group of Brits coming to the United States to support this administration that we have. And then one of those people who came to support the current administration, what was it? Was it 2024 where there was that riot and things like that? I forgot his name. Just look on the screen. And I think he was part of the group who were stirring the pot to help facilitate and start that riot that happened in the UK. So when you look at everything, different groups, things that you know and unknown, news and real things that were discussed, things that you saw people have gone through, you could plug things together and say these people are on the same page. Okay? I hope I make sense with what I'm saying. And then did the current monarch, what's his name? Harry's father, King Charles, come out and say anything based on what Trump said? Let me pause and look that up. Oh my God, I'm over 18 minutes. Okay, so this is what I say here. Did King Charles put out a statement in regard to Trump's comment? Based on report as of January 2026, King Charles III did not issue a direct public statement regarding comments made by President Donald Trump. However, reports suggest the king conveyed concern privately to the White House regarding comments about NATO troops. Previously, in May 2025, the king delivers a speech in Canada that was seen as a subtle defense of sovereignty amid tension with the Trump administration. He's not going to say anything because when you look at the group of people he is befriended with, okay, in some past videos, what is it, Osama bin Laden's family or something, he was doing some sort of a business with them. Okay, so all these groups of people, they are on the same page. This is why after realizing that Kamala Harris lost the presidency, I was very upset. As a matter of fact, I was a bit depressed. And I think I did mention it. Just go back to some of my videos after the election. And in one of those videos, I said that I took a day off. I was very depressed. But after I analyzed the process, the things that been going on, the way people fail to put things together in terms of news, politics, and social justice, previous presidencies, let's say Obama presidency and things like that, it clicked. It clicked in my mind that, okay, I accept him. Well, there's nothing I can do anyway because they claim he was the president, he was the winner. There's nothing I could do about that. So I come to the conclusion to say, yes, I accept it. The country has to go through it again. Because Everything was played out in front of us. People with common decency, GOPs, that's a political affiliate to the Republican Republicans politics, okay? Who were at his administration, his first administration, they came out. They told us what they saw firsthand.
I'm Miles Taylor. I served as the Chief of Staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration. I would go into the office, I would read my intelligence brief, and then it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him, they weren't priorities. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires. On a phone call with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, he told FEMA to cut off the money and to no longer give individual assistance to California. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down from a wildfire because he was so rageful that people in the state of California didn't support him and that politically it wasn't a base for him. The policies at the border, he wanted to restart zero tolerance and separate families. He said he wanted to go further and have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A lot of the time, the things he wanted to do not only were impossible, but in many cases illegal. He didn't want us to tell him it was illegal anymore because he knew that there were, and these were his words, he knew that he had magical authorities. He was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. I came away completely convinced based on firsthand experience that the president was ill-equipped and wouldn't become equipped to do his job effectively. And what's worse, was actively doing damage to our security. People who are still serving in this administration have said to me, just wait until the second term. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be shock and awe. We'll do what we want. Given what I've experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country. And I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
Okay, you had this lady, I forgot her name. She went to testify knowing what she heard was happening. What's her name? I forgot her name. She went to her father and asked her father for help. The father said no. We had all of these white men had some mental issues. They prefer barbaric type of things. Everything was playing out for everybody. And then to put the cherry on top of the barbaric type of things leading up to the election, Trump went to Madison Square Garden and disrespect all groups, all minorities. Yet they went and vote for him. This is why I said the country had to go through it. What we are facing right now. And I did say some will not make it through. We already seeing they are killing people on the street. He literally bringing the war to the American people. The only difference is, and I hope eventually white American analyze from the time Trump got in office to whenever he leaves, he's still president right now, to appreciate what African Americans have done by staying back, resting, minding their own business. Because as you can see, without the African American going out and protest and all of that, they are killing their own. Now, if African American were out there, it seems like it was a collective kind of thing, that spiritual things that connect us. I do not know how we all came to that conclusion. Not only did we accept his presidency, but we said, we're staying back. We will stay back. Let you guys deal with him because you wanted him. He is killing their own. Now, if African American were to go out and protest, he would have had a perfect excuse to go and kill more Americans, especially African Americans. So now he doesn't have the excuse because African American did not provide him that to go out and protest and all of that. Now, white Americans are going out there, or different groups, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to them anymore because I think yesterday they killed another white American, but people are out in full force now. I just saw a little thing here and there, and I mind my own business. So when African American stay back, in the future, I hope it is written for those white Americans to say thank you, because it would have been worse. More of your rights would have taken away quickly. So now back, oh my God, I took 24 minutes with my rant. Going back to Harry's thing here, statement. He served. I know I come across some tweet where they're putting him down. He wasn't in the front line. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. But guess what? His ass was over there. Okay? When you're dealing with enemies, they don't care who you are. As long as you are on the opposite side, they want to destroy you. At least his ass was over there doing whatever information they give him to, for him to join, the same as all the other people who joined. They were following orders. But all in all, every time, especially in the US, there is a war, it's the same group that create the war. They create a reason to have the war. They don't care who's on the crosshair. They want the war. They have a mission. They're gonna get to it. They will create a war. When will people get that? It's not like a freaking rocket scientist. You don't need a freaking crystal ball in front of you. They're literally playing all of us. Their tactic is being played in front of all of us. With what's happening in the US right now, this is the reason why they brought in the groups who write the BS in the UK. So when those things are happening in other states, they don't report them properly. They will say some BS, or they will talk about, I don't know, what President, First Lady is wearing and all that, to blind the people instead of focusing on the real issue, the terror that is happening on the street and neighborhoods. This is why they brought in those people to capture all form of communication. And he's trying to defund different NPR and anything that will give people information. When will people get that? But what's happening here is that there's social media. Okay? The people are not afraid to show what's happening in their neighborhood. And the other thing is, I saw someone a YouTube video. I didn't really watch it completely. It could have been on the title or maybe a first few seconds of the video, where during the protest, like sometime this week, they throwing snowballs at ICE. And the person who was saying it, of all things, you're throwing snowballs? Isn't there any rocks or anything? This is how clueless these people are, and they want African American bodies to be up front to confront these people so they could shoot them with the bullet. At the end of the day, Harry remains true to himself. We need to keep on praying for him, because the idea, the man that he has become, and this is not what is aligning with the groups who are in power in the UK. You could say, what is it? Keir Starmer is the opposite of the Bourgeois politics. How do they call them? There's Tories and there's Labour Party. I think it's the Labour Party that's in office right now. They're all playing the same game. It's just they're taking turn, but the mission remained the same. Okay? Different talking point, whatever, but the mission remained the same. Same thing with the US. The Democrats and Republicans, different political parties, but the mission remained the same. But the only difference here is in the US, you have some Democrats who truly, like pretty much mostly African American, when they run, they stick to their majority of them, okay? I don't want to put all of them under the same umbrella. They try to do the right thing. Like AOC, for instance, Crockett, all right? They try to do the right thing for the people. But at the end of the day, the mission remains the same. Whatever mission they're trying to do or to get. Now, Harry, who out of line, okay? Let's say there's a straight line. You have the political parties and the monarch. They all fall on the same line with whichever political parties in power in the UK. They all following the same mission. But there's Harry, who was on the same mission, and then all of a sudden he step aside from the line and he's not aligning himself. Not really not aligning, just telling the truth, the facts, and speaking for the voiceless, the bodies, the men and women who are serving. They cannot say some of the things that Harry is saying because I don't know the rules. I do not know the rules. If you join, if you're supposed to stay quiet or not show any affiliation or whatever. But Harry saw the dead bodies, which is what, the body wasn't dead, but at least the dismembered of a fellow serviceman whose body was, on the verge of dying. I don't know if that person survived, where he got that idea to create the Invictus. Okay? Yes, I know he came to the United States. He saw the Warriors game and all that. But all of these, okay, connect with Harry to create the Invictus. And then he saw the pain when he's talking to people. The family service members, what is that other organization? Scotty's Little Soldiers. He sees the kids when he's talking to them. The thing that the kids are missing from whichever parents they lost or whatever. So he listens. So when he talks, he's not saying I'm speaking for them, but at least for himself with what he saw, what he experienced. This is why he put that statement out. Harry never political. But when it comes to the servicemen and women, he's all in. I hope we need to pray for him because now it's against the papers, against the freaking evils that's running the country. They all are on the same page, but he's against all of this in terms of speaking out and calling them to court. Okay? I hope I make sense. I spent too much time on blogging. Just this one. I'm already 30 minutes. All right, let me try to add 2 more tweets to that. Let me read some of the comment. Where is your king? Okay, that's what I was saying. Where is Charles? Did he put any statement out? Well, I did search it. They said no. How can they stay silent when the sacrifice of UK servicemen and women is smeared? What is the purpose of his position if he can't even stand up for those who gives everything for the kingdom? Wow. All right. When the fighting for tougher Queen Elizabeth ordered Harry's homecoming, citing danger to him as a prince to Harry went home, he had a bodyguard covering his identity in a war zone. Nah. Maybe when he came home, but not at the while he's serving. There's picture of him with his gun doing whatever he was doing. Let me see if I find the picture. Okay, so there's different pictures here. There's him here. There's that. That's the one I was thinking of doing patrol. Where do you see body? What do they call it? Bodyguard. Where do you see bodyguard? And I was just about to mention this. There was an interview that he was doing. Okay, when he ran to the Apache helicopter, for whatever reason, there was a warning. I didn't see any bodyguard running alongside with him. I mean, we could put one and one together with some stuff that we see. And these people, whatever, they always find a way to put his service down. His deployment was to pad a royal resume. I don't think so. You see, this is the thing. With what he did, Where did we come from? We could argue many of the wars that the US was part of and the EU was part of. We may not agree with it, but many of the servicemen and women joined believing with the information that they gave him. But it's very sad when it's time for us to vote, we see those rich and powerful people doing their nonsense, but yet we supporting them. That's the problem that I'm having. I didn't read some of the comments because majority of them are going after Harry for joining. Okay, it's not his fault. He doesn't make the decision. But there he is here while they're putting those men and women down. And with his experience, he's speaking up on behalf of them. All right, in 2001, NATO invoked Article 5 for the first and only time in history. Thousands of lives changed forever. And let's not forget as well, Putin, he doesn't want NATO around him because a lot of these countries, European countries, are around Russia. He doesn't want it. So that's Trump who's doing the work for him. It's a big slap. It's a big slap with what Trump is doing in the name of our country. And then it's very sad as well to see there are some Americans who doesn't see a problem with that. All right, let's continue. Mothers, fathers, buried sons and daughters, those sacrifices deserve to be spoken about truthfully and with respect, Prince Harry. Our brave warrior, Prince Harry. Okay, I read this already. You could pause and read it again. Okay. You have, for instance, his first year when he left the UK. They didn't even allow him to put a wreath at the cenotaph. They didn't even allow him to do it. But they allow a freaking photographer to do it. The lack of respect that they have for servicemen and women. It's unbelievable. Again, it's not their fault they joined. Well, many of them join for different reasons, political or financial or whatever their circumstances are, but it's not them who create the mission. They're not in office to do the investigation, espionage, or whatever, to be deployed different places. So it's not the soldiers. It's the people who are in power. Okay, so many soldiers join for different reasons. Okay, I just want to make that clear.
What helped you to understand that position that you were in?
Spending 10 years in the military was one.
And what did that do for you?
I think I wouldn't say it changed my outlook on life, but there were certainly experiences that I went through during those 10 years that not only was I surrounded by normal people on a day-to-day basis and being able to share and talk about everyday issues that they were going through, but it was a grounding moment for me as well. You know, wearing the same uniform as all of the people that I was serving with, getting an opportunity to serve your country on operations, but also being part of a family. And that's not just the guys and the girls that were wearing the uniform, but also the wives, the girlfriends, the kids. That whole network of support was huge. But I think my understanding of service and duty became really, really ingrained, or it was given to me by my service in the military, because that's what it's all about. And you're taking young people from some of the most deprived cities and towns across the UK for the British Armed Forces, and I know it's the day-to-day basis.
So when a 6-year-old says to you that your country is ruining theirs, what do you do or say?
Agree with them slightly. Look, we all know the issues that are out there, with the climate and the environmental issues, and I don't want to say it's refreshing, but it is nice to know that kids that young have an appreciation and understanding greater than some of the people who have been on this planet for 60, 70 years. So I think without question, I've been a pessimist many times because of the work that we end up doing. You can be surrounded by negativity sometimes. But as I said just now, the younger generation of the world has turned me into an optimist because they are the best connected, the most passionate generation that I think that we've ever had. And what we need to do is be able to create a platform so that they can be heard because they have the solutions to some of the world's biggest problems.
I was actually going to ask you that because my sense would be that you've seen a lot of things up close. So you've seen miracles and you've seen great sadness. I mean, you go to a famine. Most of us read about one. And so you can see some things that perhaps none of us could really understand the scale or the breadth of the devastation up close. And you're saying that young people are the ones that keep you motivated to do this work. Why do you think young people are often so underestimated by society? Why do you think that 6-year-old voice or that 10-year-old voice or that 15-year-old voice is not treated the same way as that 60-year-old voice?
Because that's the way it's always been, before social media, before internet, before the way that everybody was connected in a positive way. It was always presumed, this is my take on it, which may be very wrong, but I think the presumption was always the longer you spend on this planet, the more experience and the more knowledge that you have. Fine, I think we all agree that the longer you're around for, the more experience you have. But what kind of a world are we going to end up being part of if we don't listen to the younger generation who have all the solutions, they're better connected than ever before, and because of the connectivity, they have the opportunity and the ability to be able to fix problems in a quarter of the amount of time that anybody else of previous generations was able to do over a 10, 15, 20-year period.
So
But they're using these bodies, these men and women, to carry out their dirty work for them while they're piling up money. Oh my God. Go in different places. Oh my God. To create chaos, burning different towns and all of that. Because they're taking orders. Whew. All right, let's see here. Prince Harry served in the British Army for 10 years, 2005 to 2015, and his service was active and frontline, not ceremonial. Oh, okay, someone, British NAFO. Okay, who is that? NAFO head of tea drinking division, bunker of Vatnik, master of bastards. Okay, I don't know who's that. Okay, I don't know if this is something with the UK, but they retweeted it. Prince Harry served in the British Army for 10 years, 2005 to 2015, and his service was active and frontline, not ceremonial. Here's what he did, training and roles. He trained as the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, and was commissioned as an officer. He joined the Blues and Royals, a cavalry regiment of the Household Cavalry. His role evolved from troop leader to Apache helicopter pilot and co-pilot gunner. From my understanding, when the papers let the world know where he was serving, okay? Because once the world knew, including the enemy knew where he was serving, they thought that it would be danger for the rest of, not only for Harry, but the people around him, other servicemen and women. So he had to leave. Now, he wanted to go back, but they told him he cannot come back as the same, whatever position he was. They had to change. He had to change. So what did he do? He learned to fly a freaking helicopter so he could go back. So that means that's dedication. So you're telling me, for those who keeps on putting his service thing down, he went with, bodyguard or something like that. So when he was flying those Apache helicopter and dangerous front line, because from my understanding, the helicopter cannot hold too many people. So what will they do, those bodyguard can do, if the enemy shoot at the helicopter? Everybody's gonna go down. Okay? So he decided to learn to fly a freaking helicopter so he could go back. So that's dedication. And from my understanding, he was the top of his class when he, for the flying Apache helicopter. All right, his role evolved from troop leader to Apache helicopter pilot and co-pilot gunner. Combat deployment: Afghanistan 2007 to 2008. Served secretly for about 10 weeks to avoid making his unit a target. All right, worked as a forward air controller, helping coordinate air support for ground troops. Afghanistan 2012 to 2013. Deploy again, this time as an Apache attack helicopter. That's what I was saying, where he had to learn to fly. Okay, deploy again, this time as an Apache attack helicopter pilot, flew combat mission and was involved in protecting coalition forces from the air. Okay, I'm glad they put that out there for those. Okay, this is the thing I was talking about a few minutes ago when he was doing this interview. Watch when he run. Is there any, I don't know, bodyguard running with him? There'll be a screenshot. Let me show you. Okay, he's in the middle of, he didn't see what was happening, and on back of him, the moment he saw it, he's like, fuck this with this weekend interview. Okay, I don't see anyone running around him to protect him. Okay, sheesh. Again, I'm not for war, and that doesn't mean I agree the way the war started or what, or the way it ended. But many of these men, servicemen and women, they go there for the idea of protecting our country. But you have these people who's abusing the men and women for their profit. All right, so that's that. Any comments? All right, thank you, Prince Harry, for your service and for speaking up. I'm American and I detest our lying, cowardly president. He owes the world an apology. Okay, there's that. Is that more of the comment? Prince Harry says Afghanistan sacrifice deserve respect. So that's probably the same statement again. All right, they need to protect him here in the US as well. Okay, because they're already killing our own over here. So many things going in my mind. Okay, I only did 2 tweets for this video because I talk too much. I have more to share with you. I'm gonna, let me pause for a second. I'm gonna do another video where I continue with my list. Okay, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that's that. The next tweet that I'm gonna do, gonna have on the next video, is gonna be this tweet. I'm gonna start with that one. Okay, so there are some videos, news outlet in the UK that's talking about it, and there's different things that I have other tweets that are non-video things. All right, so thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
we ask for forgiveness, and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better